Okay, so we are live. So, okay, so we are live. तो सबका वेट करते हैं. Okay, let's wait for 5 minutes ताकि सारे ज्वाइन कर लें. Okay, don't mind my messy hairs. Let me check. एक बार. Okay, so we will start the session at 5:05. It's 5:03 now. Yeah, आज 22 ही है. ठीक है, अभय कुमार. Let me set up everything. So let's wait. सारे ज्वाइन कर ले एक बार. तो शुरू करते हैं. Okay, so I'm waiting. 7 people ने ज्वाइन किया अभी तक. एंड आई गेस कि मेरी स्क्रीन अब विजिबल है सबको. ठीक है, एक बार मैं भी कंफर्मेशन के लिए चेक कर लूं. ओके यार, मेरे को तो नहीं दिख रही. मेरे को एक बार कमेंट करके बताओगे कि मेरी स्क्रीन विजिबल है या नहीं. Not my camera face, like my screen, my laptop screen. Okay. Okay, only camera is visible, not the screen. Okay. Uh, I'll share my entire screen again. तो अब विजिबल है स्क्रीन? ओके, गुड। तो ओके, सो मैं अपनी नो, ओके ओके ओके, सो स्टिल नॉट द स्क्रीन इज विजिबल। इज इट नाउ? ओके, 50% को विजिबल है, 50% को विजिबल नहीं है। आई गेस ये नेटवर्क इशू है, तो कोई बात नहीं, मैं अपना कैमरा बंद करके ओनली स्क्रीन को देख लेते हैं। Knobs not visible. यार नेटवर्क में बहुत ज्यादा इशू आ रहा है इधर. I guess everyone can see me. I hope. Okay, so let's start with. So today's session is about getting started with Flutter. So today's session is divided into four parts. The first would be the introduction. The second would be the theory for Dart and Flutter. Third would be the hands-on session on it, and fourth would be the business model. Okay. So like what are the internship opportunity? What are the business opportunity? Like why do we prefer Flutter over any other language or like any other framework, not language? So like start with what is Flutter? So Flutter is an open source UI software development kit developed by Google. So first of all, the first thing to mention is that Flutter is made and created by Google. And secondly, Flutter is used to develop Android, iOS, Linux, Mac OS, Windows, and Google Fuchsia, and web also. So like, what is Google Fuchsia? Okay, you know about all these platforms, but I guess most of people don't know about Google Fuchsia. So in the end, we will I'll tell you about Google Fuchsia also. So like, why we choose Flutter for today's session? So we chose Flutter because in today's era, there are two operating systems that is most powerful. The first one is Android and the second one is Apple. So like Android has covered 83% of the market share and Apple has like almost 17% of the market share. Okay, leaving the feature phone, I'm talking about only smartphones. So like Flutter, with using Flutter, we can make apps for both Android and iOS with a single code base. Okay, so we don't need any native code for in Kotlin for Android or in Objective-C or Swift for iOS. We can like code with a single code base, and the language used in Flutter is Dart. So let's start with the theory, like what is Dart and like how Flutter compiles and everything in this theory session. So Dart is a client optimized language for multiple platforms. Okay. So Dart is a client optimized programming language for apps on multiple platforms, and it is also developed by Google. So Dart is also by Google, and like it is the language that Flutter uses behind the scene to develop Flutter apps. Okay, so why Dart, and what are the things that Google kept in mind for choosing Dart as the language for Flutter? Why Flutter loves Dart, and why this all happens? This would be a surprise, and at the end of this session, I'll tell you the main surprise thing, that why we chose Google, why we chose Flutter, why Flutter chose Dart, and like all of the stuff in at the ending of the session. So there are other popular like frameworks available in the market. The most popular one is React Native. React Native is developed by Facebook, and why we don't choose React Native was there was one reason, that React Native uses JavaScript bridge, and because of this JavaScript bridge, na, so the code is very, like the processing speed and the computation power of any app would become very slow. And but Flutter does not do like this. Flutter uses native code, like Dart compiles to native code, like in 0101 bit form, and then you got the performance of like native performance using the Flutter app. So but in React Native, we use this JavaScript code, and in using the JavaScript code, there would be a bridge that converts JavaScript code first to native code, for example, Java or Kotlin code for Android, and Objective-C or Swift code for iOS, and then it compiles, and then then it's compiled to 01, and then it is shown to the users. So you can think of this a long chain of processes in React Native, but this is not the case with the Flutter. So let's see like how Flutter compiles behind the scenes. Okay, so Flutter uses Dart language, and then Flutter uses a C++ engine to compile the Dart language into a native code. So there are some library. If I guess my screen is visible, you can see the libraries and framework here. Okay, yeah, my screen is visible. So like how Flutter compiles. So Flutter uses some libraries for Android and iOS. For Android, we uses Material, and for iOS, we uses Cupertino. Okay, remember one thing, everything in Flutter is a widget. What is a widget? I'll tell you later in this session. But till now, just remember this, everything in Flutter is a widget. So then this widget goes for rendering, the animation, painting, and gesture, foundation. Okay, don't need to remember all of this. Like these are just for the theoretical section. I'll tell you everything about it when we have a hands-on session on this. The engine, like the painting engine that Flutter uses is Kia engine. You can see this Kia engine that it's a C++ engine that compiles Dart code into native code like the 0101. Okay, so I think the theory is completed, but rest of all the theory I'll cover in the hands-on session. So in the hands-on, let's go to Dart.dev. Okay, firstly, I'll tell you about the Dart language. Okay, then we will have a session on like installation of Flutter and all rest of the stuff. Okay, so let's firstly do about Dart. Okay, so I told you now that is a statically typed language. Okay, so like if any of you know like JavaScript or Java, like that is pretty similar to it. Okay, so like there would be one main function. You can see this main function, and this inside the main function, our code compiles. So this is the code. Okay, let me run the code, and you can see the output of all this. Okay, so you can see the output of this. Let me delete all the code and I'll explain each and everything step by step. So firstly, we'll see the most important thing, I guess, in debugging and in like every programming language, that is print. And let's print hello world. Okay, so print hello world, and must remember that we should have a semicolon at the end of each and every statement. Okay, I know this is kind of weird, like a new language should not have the semicolon, but okay. So you can see on the console that hello world is printed. And now let's talk about variables. Okay, see that this session, like I thought that you must have like a basic programming knowledge. So you know about data types and all of the stuff. So I won't cover each and everything. I would be like going through the upper layer of everything. Now let me tell you the syntax mainly of Dart. So like in Dart, we'll declare a string by using string. Okay, the data type. Then I'll name the variable as a. Okay, a and equal to like the string name would be Jan. Okay, and like okay, I ended this with a semicolon. Now I want Jan to be printed on the console. Then I'll do a print and print a, and then this. Let me run. Again, you can see on console that Jan is printed on the console. Okay, so like similarly to this, like we can have integer data type, we can have double, we can have float, and like we can have okay for boolean. Here we have bool. Okay, bool b is equal to true or false. Okay, so we don't use boolean keyword, we use bool keyword here. So these are the data types that we mainly use in Dart and Flutter. Now let me tell you about functions. So functions are nothing like you can think of a function is a group of code that performs a specific task. Okay. So for example, I'll make a function and let's name it like void fun test. Okay. Make sure that this should be camel case, like f should be small and test in t should be larger. Okay. Then here let's print this is a function, and in the main let's compile this and let me call this fun test. Okay, let me remove this statement. If I run this, we'll get the result of this is a function over the console. So you can see this is a function over the console. You can get this. Okay. Okay. Now let's see what is this void. Okay. So void is the return type of this function. Void means nothing, like nothing. I don't want and this function to return anything. If I make it string, this means that this function should return a string value. So you can see at the bottom right, this function has a return type of string, but it does not end with the return statement. So it throws an error and it says that it should have a return type of string because we mentioned here string. Okay, so I'll return it. with hello. Okay, so now this function is returning hello, but how can I print it? Okay, so for printing it, I can I can wrap it inside like inside print statement, or I can make it like string a is equal to this, and then I'll print it. So you can think of that a got the value from fun test, and a is hello, and then I'll print a. It would be this is a function and then hello. Okay, so you can see this is a function and hello. Okay, so this is like functions in Dart. Okay, now the thing is that Dart is like single threaded. Like unlike Java, which is multi-threaded, it is single threaded. Okay, if I basically tell about threads, you can think of threads as a different kind of containers or stuff like that. So each and every container has performs a different function and does not have a dependency on other container. Okay, but since Dart is single threaded, we cannot make multiple threads in it. We cannot make multiple containers in it which can perform function. So we got a special keyword here in Dart, and that's the future. Okay, if anyone is coming from JavaScript background, future is similar to promises. Okay, so like I'll make test, and then okay, so like it's returning a future of, because so why do we use future? Okay, I'm not returning anything. I'll just explain everything. So why do we need a future here? So a future means, unlike like promises in JavaScript, you can think of that a task will happen, but it will happen in future. For example, we want some API calls to be done. Okay, like you scroll your Instagram, and when you open the Instagram page, you see that all the feeds is coming on your main screen on Instagram. So on that now, you can see that it's fetching from the internet. So that could take a bit of time, like 5 seconds or 6 seconds. Okay, that's too much, but based on your internet speed, you can think of that it will take time, but you are sure that this would happen, like it will return a future, which means this will happen in future, but we would surely get the result would be success or the result would be error. So at that time we use future. Okay, so like I know this is a bit confusing this time, but okay, so you can think that future is a main thing in like Flutter. So future, that's why I told you about this future in this session. Okay, so now coming to, I guess that, okay, loops. Okay, let me explain loop also. So so there are different kind of loops. There is for loop for each loop, then while loop, do while loop, and like for in loop and for off. I guess for off loop is in JavaScript, not in that. But okay, so I is equal to 1, and then I guess most of have used this in your colleges. So I'll make it I less than 5, and then I plus plus, and I will print I here. Okay, so we got one keyword where also here. I'll tell you about it also. So let me run, and you can see on the like console that it would print 1 2 3 4. You can see. Okay, because I kept. So this is an example of for loop. Okay, so still I is less than 5. It will loop through this statement. It will print I, and start of I is 1 and end of I is 4 because it's less than 5. And it will increase by 1 at each and every command. Okay. So what is this where keyword? Okay. So like you can think of like in most of the time you know that this would be a string, that string A would be equal to I, and then you know that in B is equal to 10. Okay, most of the cases you know this, like this would be a string, this would be an integer, but in some cases like you don't know the data type. Okay, in like you can think of any advanced thing or not advanced also, for basic things also you don't know the data type. So you can mention it with a where keyword, like where C is equal to, and I can give it a string. It can be a string, Okay, if I keep it where means variable. Okay, it can be a string and it can be an integer. Okay, see, I make it an integer. It can be a double. I made it double. It can be anything. Where means variable, and we don't know the data type of the variable. It can be anything. So this is the where keyword basically. Okay, so I guess that this much is sufficient for the time being for today's application. Okay, because time is very less, so I won't waste time explaining each and every point. I'll tell you the resources where you can learn Flutter to the fullest. So till the time, I'll tell you the like installation of Flutter. Okay, so let me open the. Okay, so you must download some IDs for working with Flutter. You can use Visual Studio Code, you can use Android Studio, you can use IntelliJ ID, you can use any of the IDs that you like. And most of people prefer Android Studio or Visual Studio Code. Okay, I'll tell you installation in both, but I personally like Android Studio, so I'll open it and like okay, because it will take a bit of time. So that's why what I will do is like I'll explain installation side by side till the time it would build. Okay. 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 So the site which you have to visit is flutter.dev. Okay. So on this site you get a lot of documentation. What is Flutter? How to install it? Each and everything. Like the Flutter is the only framework, like only UI toolkit that has got a very good documentation I have ever seen in my life. Okay, so you can see that this is fast development. I told you now that Flutter code directly compiles into native code. It does not depend on like a bridge, a native bridge. Then it's flexible and UI. Okay, I'll tell you this expressive and flexible UI. One thing to note about Flutter, the main thing that I personally love in Flutter is you get a control on each and every pixel on your mobile phone. So like you can think of each okay, your mobile phone is probably made of like 2000 pixels. You got hold of 2000 pixels, but you don't have this liberty in native Android or in native iOS. So you got this liberty in Flutter. Why? Because Flutter uses different mechanism to run apps. Okay, that does not depend on like native thing. And then you can think of native performance. Yes, that's true. Native performance because like it does not depend on bridge. Again and again, I'm mentioning this. This Dart code directly compiles to bit code 01010. Okay, okay. So like okay, I told you that Flutter also run on web, so you can try each and every Flutter app. So this is a kind of app, and you can run, and you can see that this like the output would be visible on the screen. I don't know like why they are not showing the output, but okay, you can also see the output here. Okay, fast development. You can see. I'll explain each and everything here. I'm just sharing the screen with you guys to explain. You can see the UIs like it's making the native performance and each and everything. Okay, so the companies using Flutter would be Google, of course, Google. Okay, eBay, BMW, and Square, Alibaba Group, Capital One. Okay, now. Okay, let's leave. So let's get started with the Flutter. So you can see on the top right, you can see a get started button. Click on that get started button to get started with the Flutter installation. I got a Windows machine, so I'll go with Windows. If you got a Mac, go with Mac. And if you got Ubuntu, Linux, or any other operating system, you can go with all of these operating system. Okay, I guess no one would be in China. But if you're in China, you can use this Flutter in China. Okay, so let's go with Flutter with Windows. So for Windows installation, blah blah blah, it use it's saying that operating system this, and must read this information. I won't be wasting time reading this information. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so there are two ways of getting Flutter. Okay, first is download the Flutter zip file because everything requires an environment to run. Okay, to compile Flutter code also we need Flutter to be installed on our machine. So you can install Flutter directly using this zip file, and then you can see that you can extract in C, source, and Flutter. Else, what you can do is like Git clone. Okay, if anyone don't know about Git or want Git to be installed on their machine, So you can go to this site like download Git, and you can find like uh, you first have to install Git if you want to do it the other way. Okay, I recommend you for going with the Git, because like whenever an update would be available to you, you like okay here. So whenever an update would be available for Flutter, you can easily download it using this command again. There would be one command of Flutter upgrade. Okay, okay, so like these are the things. Okay, let me explain you. Basically, I have already installed Flutter on my machine, so I won't be installing again and again, but I'll tell you about it. So this is one command, git clone flutter stable b. So you have to run this command to install Flutter on your machine, and then what you have to do, let me go. Like on here, I'll go to the like I'll go to this PC. Then in the C drive, you can you won't find this folder. You have to make this folder with the name of SSD. Flutter recommends this. Okay, so you can make a folder of SSD, but you can keep Flutter anywhere. Okay, what's the trick? I'll tell you now only. So after inside the SRC, you will find, if you install Flutter, you will keep Flutter here. Okay, and like you will have these all the stuff here. I'll at the end of the video, I'll give you one video link like from where you can install Flutter also. Then what you have to do is you have to go to your environment variables. Okay, edit environment variables, and you can probably find this thing here. Okay, uh, I guess there should be one Flutter folder. Okay, leave it, but you have to add one Flutter here. Okay, I guess no, I can't find it. But you should add. Okay, leave it. I'll tell you like how to install Flutter and give the video link to you. Okay, because if I would install Flutter now, it would be a very long session and users would get bored. Okay, so after you do your and you update your environment path variables and do everything, now you have to run one command, Flutter doctor. Okay, yeah, it's like a doctor only, but especially for Flutter. So if you run this command, you will get a series of things. Okay, Android key toolchain is missing, or iOS is missing. Okay, on Windows you will surely get this, that your Xcode is not installed, because Xcode cannot be installed on a Windows machine. Okay, then okay, these are the things. After this, you run the Flutter Doctor command. Now you can easily find that. Okay, is Flutter successfully installed on my machine or not? You can see the Flutter version using the Flutter minus version command. And let me go to Android Studio and tell you the setup for Android Studio as well. So on the Android Studio, you won't see any, like you have to download Android Studio. Okay, you can simply search on Google, download Android Studio and download it. And here I got the version 4.0.2. You have to create a new Flutter project. You won't find new Flutter project for the first time when you install Flutter on it. I'll tell you like what you have to do for the Flutter for installing Flutter on this Android Studio also. After Before that, I'll tell you like how to create a new Flutter project. I'll go to Flutter application and then next, let it Flutter app. Yeah, finish. Okay, it's creating a Flutter project for the time being for us. Okay, so till then, let me explain you the widgets and stuff like that. Okay, the installation would be side by side. You can reverse this video again and again and see the installation. But till then, till the hands-on, let me explain you the what are the widgets available, what are the things that we can do in Flutter. So first of all, in Flutter, everything is a widget. I told you earlier also now that everything would be a widget, nothing would be like anything else. So what is a widget? Okay, so you can probably think of a widget is simply a class, or you can think that widget is a class that got some specific. It's basically for the UI, like widget is a class that got some components like the style, the features, and all the stuff. I can probably explain better when I would show you the live demo example. Okay, so okay, the Flutter is getting indexed. and then I'll tell you each and everything. So firstly, let's see that that there are two kind of widget that you would use, and the first one is stateless, and the second is stateful. Okay, you can think of a tree. Like Flutter creates a widget tree. Okay, like each and every UI is made up of this widget tree only. Like the it like the widget tree would be either stateless or either stateful. Okay, so what is stateless and stateful? Okay, just see these slides. Okay, I'll explain you each and everything on Android Studio as well. But I'm just explaining you this here so that you can get a better understanding in the Android Studio. Okay, till the time, let me open emulator also. Okay, for this emulator also, like I guess we don't have the time, but if I was to tell you now, you can you got this button here. So you have to create your own emulator. So here you got create virtual device and you have to create a virtual device of your own. I got many virtual device. Let me run anyone of that. Okay. Okay. Till the time it is building and everything is getting set up, let me tell you the difference between a stateless and a stateful widget. Okay. So a stateless widget is a widget that cannot be rebuilt. Okay. What that mean by rebuild? This thing would probably be seen in the in the live demo only. Like you cannot I will explain, but I guess no one can like literally get what do you mean by rebuild and stuff like that. Okay, so just remember that stateless is a widget that cannot be rebuilt again and again. Stateful is a widget that can be rebuilt again and again. Just remember this, nothing else. Okay, I'll explain these code. What are the stateless and stateful widget? Okay, I know these are bulky codes, but like don't worry about these bulky codes. Okay, so let's get started with okay, I got this emulator on and let's get started and let me run that. Okay, for the first time you will see this code. You can see this. It would be a stateful widget. Okay, I will explain this code, but for the timing, let me remove all this commenting. You can probably read the commenting like if you are new in this platform, and then I'll remove each and every commenting here so that I can clearly make you understand the code. Okay, for the first time, it will take time. Okay, till the time, okay, yeah, done. Okay, so like I'll tell you the installation for Flutter in the Android Studio first. Okay, so you can probably click Control Alt and S, and you will get this window on your screen, right? Okay, so here on the left side you will see find plugins. Okay, you have to go to plugins. I again repeat the command. The command is Control plus Alt plus S for Sumit. Okay, yeah, Control. And in the you have to go to Marketplace and then search for Flutter. Okay, install the latest version. Already got installed Flutter, and with this Flutter, you will also Android Studio will recommend you to please download Dart also. Okay, it's mandatory for like Flutter to run. So like okay, I have already installed. Once you install it, restart the Android Studio. Like Flutter would be installed on the Android Studio. Okay, I'm just telling the step for Android Studio. At the end, I probably, if I got the time, I'll tell you the step for VS Code also because most of the people would prefer VS Code. VS Code is pretty lightweight, but Android Studio is too heavy, too bulky to like manage things. But okay, like this is the thing. Till the time it's building, I'll explain you the project structure of Flutter. Okay, so here you can probably skip this dart to an idea. So probably no like in life you I guess you would never work on these things like the dart tool and idea. This is used behind the scene by Flutter to build the app. So this is the Android, this is iOS folder, this lib folder, this test, and then pubsec.yml. These are the main files that are important for Flutter. So let me explain you each and everything. Okay. So most of the code, what you will do would be in this lib folder only. Okay. And each and every Flutter project would have one main.dart file that we already got for to make sure that Flutter app, okay, this name can be different. Okay, this name can be different, but there should be one index file or the main file on which the Flutter app should run. So you can see the main function that we saw in the Dart panel. Like I guess here we so yeah, here you can see this main function. Yeah, this main function is similar. Here you can find a main function. What is this run app stateless stateful? Okay, don't worry about it. I'll explain each and everything in this session only. Okay, so I guess the Flutter is building. Yeah, till the time I'll explain the structure. Okay, lib folder, all the Dart code would be kept here. All the code you will do here only. Okay, you will make files, you will make folders, or anything related to Flutter Dart would be done here. Okay, then there is one another important file, and that file is pubsec.yaml. Okay, why YAML, not YAML? Okay, so why this file? Okay, so this file contains all the dependencies of Flutter. So you can think of you can see pubget, pub upgrade, pub outdated, and Flutter Doctor. All these commands are supported by Flutter. I already told you about Flutter Doctor. I won't run because it would take time. Okay, you can think that this is the SDK environment. Okay, like then dependencies, you can see SDK, Flutter SDK is installed. Okay, each and every dependency you will add here. I'll tell you about dependencies also. Then moving forward, if you want to have some font, you have to uncomment these lines. Okay, and you can write your font here. Or if you want any asset like any image or anything like that, you have to uncomment these lines. These are commented by default, but you have to uncomment if you want to add any asset or any image. Okay, this I'll explain this also. Okay, moving forward, we are done with the left folder. You can delete this test like every time. This is like for unit testing and like unit testing and integration testing, but for the timing you don't need these things. External libraries, like I won't recommend you to go through this as a beginner, but like after words, you will see here all the dependencies that you install, like all the external libraries that we install in a Flutter app would be shown here. Okay, I'll tell you like how the dependencies would be installed. Okay, stick with me, and then we got the Android and iOS. Okay, so the best thing, another best thing in Flutter, you can say, is that in Flutter, na, you can connect your code to native Android also and native iOS also. Like there is some code that like Flutter does not support, or in Flutter you don't get anything. Like if you don't know like how to like go well with this thing, like any native code you can think of. Getting battery level, yeah, the easiest example, getting battery level. Okay, so you have to write native code for that. Okay, there is a trick for that also. All these things like I'll tell afterwards. But firstly, I will tell you about this thing. I guess the till the time. Okay, it's syncing. Okay. Okay. There is a very little mistake with me. My phone is was connected with this, so that's why the Flutter got installed on this. Okay, no worries. I'll install on the emulator so you can see also. Okay, so these are like before beginning forwards, I'll tell you one drawback in Flutter. For the time being, Flutter cannot do background tasks. What do I mean by background tasks? I mean by background task means like after you close your app, okay, like there are some tasks that keeps running in the background. In background, Google keep getting your location information. Like Facebook keep getting your location information, or like any other thing. Like you walk up by using an alarm. Okay, I guess nobody walk up using the alarm. Hey. So like these are the background services that Flutter does not support for the timing for now. For that, you have to write code in a native like Kotlin or Swift for like Android and iOS respectively. But there is a trick for that. That trick also I'll tell you after this only, after this everything. I know there is a bunch of load at one time only. Like I'm explaining each and everything at at the same like we're moving fast because there is a limit of time. If it were now, I would explain each and every point in Flutter. Okay, till the time it's installing. Okay, let's wait for it to install. Okay, till the time it's installing, if anyone got any doubt, like you can probably ask in your comment. I'm seeing the comments. Okay, okay. Hello, bhaiya, I'm Guransh. Hey, Guransh. Okay, can you increase the font size? Okay, so is my font size not visible? Probably now I have to restart my Android Studio like to change the font size. Okay, I'll try that if it works without restarting. But I guess okay, let's see. Okay, it would be like yeah, I told you now. I have to. Okay, so sorry guys for the font. Can you make the screen full? Yeah, I can make the screen full. Okay, but if I make the screen full now, okay, yeah, I'll make the screen full. Is it fine? Okay, okay. So this is our first Flutter app. Congratulations to everyone that we built one Flutter app on our own. Okay, so this is not our Flutter app. This is the basic theme that Flutter team provide us. So when I click this button, you can see that this increases by one and see the rapid pace. Okay, so there are some awesome things in Flutter. The first thing is the hot reload. Okay, so I personally like this hot reload. If you are an Android developer or an iOS developer, you know the pain of Gradle build. So here you don't have to build Gradle again and again. So I'll change this icon of add to remove. Okay, so in Flutter, you just have to change it and then press Control S. Control S is for save. Okay. And you can probably see it's hot reloaded. And you can see instead of this plus icon, now after see the hot reload completed, instead of this plus icon, I got the minus icon. Okay. So that's the power of Flutter at only just Control S and you got hot reload ability and see the it's changing like too fast. So for UI development, you won't suffer like too much time or too much loading time for it. I'll make the screen full again. Okay. So yeah, the app is built and you can probably see this. But now let's move on and let's start working on this. I will comment the code. I won't delete the code because I would explain this code afterwards. Okay, then in the home page. Okay, let's leave it for now. Now let's start working with stateless and stateful widget. I'll comment on this line also. Yeah, now we got no errors. Now stateless and stateful widget. So for stateless widget in Flutter, you just have to type the command STLESS. Okay, so you can see the ID has give the recommendation of I press the enter and you can see class dash extend stateless widget. You don't have to remember anything. You just have to type STLESS and then press enter. It will automatically create a stateless widget. I'll make it like stateless widget test. Okay, probably I cannot find a better name for it. Okay, so I create a stateless widget and now for the stateless widget to like render. Okay, what I'll make on this stateless widget is a scaffold. What is scaffold? I'll tell you. Don't worry. Then an app bar would be with the title of hello, and then okay. with the title of hello, and then we got a body, and don't worry about this what I'm writing, I'll explain each and everything. Okay, center with hello world. I'll make the text size bigger because everyone was saying. Child font size would be, I'll make it 25 probably. Yeah. And here I'll let me move this. And here instead of this home page, copy it. Okay, the command for copying the above line was Control plus D for the Enter Studio. Okay, okay, I'll make this and like delete this, and just I'll press the hot reload, and you can see it reloaded. You can see the app bar hello, and like if I make it also hello world and Control S, see hello world. Okay, at the same time you can see this is the power of Flutter, the native performance of Flutter. Okay, so moving forward, I'll explain these widgets. Like, what is the stateless widget? You can see here, like here, the stateless widget code. Like the class name, it extends the stateless widget. Then at the rate override widget build context. Then don't need to remember this for the timing because for the beginning you don't have to remember this. But if anyone knows about these things, if anyone is like a intermediate or a advanced level, I guess probably most of you know about this. Don't remember this, I'm just explaining. Okay, if you need to listen, then listen. Okay, extend means parent class. Okay, if you don't understand, okay, extend stateless parent class. Okay, and state widget test is the child that extend the stateless widget. Okay, this stateless widget has like function that named as build. Build function is returning one widget. See, this is one widget that we are returning, and then it has like one parameter also, that is the context. Okay, and this build function is already defined in status widget, so we are overriding it with the with this annotation. Okay, if anyone not understand this, no need to worry, I'm saying it again. So now is the time for me to explain you each and everything. So I guess you can see the widget side by side. So you can see the scaffold. What is the scaffold? The scaffold is like wrap around any Flutter app. Okay. Move the scaffold, scaffold, the body script scaffold. Scaffold gives some other things like the Flutter. We saw earlier also. Got FAB. Okay, let's make an FAB. Okay, I passed the on. So you can see FAB is here. Okay, FAB is floating action button. And then you can probably have a bottom navigation bar. See the bottom navigation bar, you can probably have a tab bar. Tab bar is just like WhatsApp that and then okay. So what is this scaffold? I told you the scaffold is just a outer layer, like how the app should represent on this application. Okay. If I remove the scaffold now, like if I remove this scaffold, okay, before removing the scaffold, let's understand all the way. Then I'll explain the scaffold again. App bar is nothing but you can see this blue color strip, an app bar, like most of you have seen this app bar. Okay, then the title we are giving the text hello world. If we want the title to be in the center, we will make the center title to true, and it will like easily make the title in the center. Okay, then we will have this center widget. What is mean by center widget? Okay, firstly, what is body? Body is like leaving the app bar, the space left on the screen is our body. Okay, this is the screen space left in the screen. This is the body, and inside this body we got a center widget. Center widget just centers widget that we want. This see there is it has a child of text widget. Okay, hello world, and it made the text to be in the center. If I remove the center widget now, you can probably find what happened. I save it and see, like it's aligned to the top left. But if I make it again center, if I wrap it with center again, so see, again it's in the center. Okay, text widget is nothing but you have seen this. If I have to write any of the text, like hello, what is okay, next we got this floating action button. Floating action button is this on pressed if I want to print something. Okay, on pressed, let's print something. And I want to print like hello script members. Okay, and then printing. So So I'll tell you the basic widgets also. The basic widgets that we use is the text widget that we have seen here, hello Jayant or hello something else. The set widget, okay, tab chatbot. The widget is the column. You can probably think of column like, okay, you can easily understand column. If I make hello Jayant 2, okay, to keep it side one below each other, we use the column thing. So you can think hello gent 2. Okay, you can see it's one below another. Okay. Now you have seen that like if I make it a column and uh, I make it a column, but why they are aligning to the top? Why they are not aligning to the center? If we got the center widget, but why it's not aligning to the center? So see that the widget, every widget has its own properties. Okay, so column has its property. The one property that we will use is main axis alignment. Main axis, you can if I open the paint, I guess a graphical representation would be good. So this is your mobile screen, and then if I see the column would be like this from here to here. Okay, this is a column. Okay, I suck at drawing. Okay, not mind. From here up from top to bottom we got this column. Okay, so the main axis alignment of this column would be like top to bottom. Okay, from top to bottom. I'll make the main axis alignment to be in the center. So main axis alignment to be in the center. I save it. You can probably find the center now. alignment at the start. Okay, let me save it, and you can see that this would like probably okay. We got the center now. That's why it's not aligned. I'll remove this widgets. I told you now that each and every widget in Flutter got its own property. So like all these widgets, you will know only by practicing, nothing else. Like if you will remember the properties, you will forget easily. So you can probably see like the cross axis alignment is in the start and main axis alignment is in the center. Great. So we got the row, we got the column, we got text and everything. Now another main widget that we would like probably use is the container. Okay, because of time foundation, I won't explain each and everything. So container, let me write this. Okay. Now container got some additional properties also. Like we can make the container we got margin. Okay, okay. Let's have a margin of 5. This should be in the so see if we make it 50. Okay, we made 50. If I make difference easily. See, if you okay, container got some more properties. If you want to see any of the properties of the container, you can control and click on any of the widget. You will go here. You will find each and every area. Okay, so like padding, color, we got the color, we got the pad, the alignment, we got height, width, margin, and each and everything. Okay, I won't go that deep in each and every subject because of the time foundation. Okay, so in the tutorial session, like probably let's recreate. Okay, okay, no, we got on stateless now. Let's have a stateful widget also. Let's have a look on stateful widget also. So the case is like, do you remember that the app we made earlier, that the counter app? So we will try to recreate that app only. Okay. So before moving forward, let's see if anyone got any doubt. Like you can ask. Okay, I guess no doubt. Yeah, no doubts. Okay. If you got any doubt now, put it in the comment section. I'll to let's let's read it. Okay. Okay, I forgot to tell you about this stateless widget. Now let's try to recreate this app, the counter app that we got earlier. Okay, so for that, let's make it a counter. Then let's make the text to be like 0. Okay, remove this text widget. We don't have this column, and then we don't want this color also. We don't want this padding also. Let's make it, yeah, it's fine. Now wrap it in center. I want it to be in the center. I don't want the container widget. Then it's in center. Okay. I'm just recreating the app. So like now I don't want the print one. Now let's moving forward. So I'll make one global variable. and let's keep the value to be integer, like counter to be 0. Initially, let's make it 0. Okay, that's a typo. Initially make it 0, like, and on each and every press I'll increase the counter by 1, is equal to counter plus 1. Okay, you can probably write this also, like counter, this means the change the, okay, these two lines go, is okay. Now let's and try to run. I increase it. I tap the button, tap the button, tap the button. See, the 0 is not increasing. So why it's happening? So I'll tell you the reason. But see here in the console, I printed the counter on, but the counter is increasing. The counter value is increasing, but see, it's not getting reflected on the stateless widget. Okay, I told you now the stateless widget cannot be built again and again. So this build function cannot be called again and again. So let's convert the stateless to a stateful widget. Press Alt plus Enter. It will be converted to a stateful widget. Now, when it is converted to a stateful widget, and now let me press save. See, if I press this button again, nothing will happen. The counter will increase again. See, nothing happened, but the counter increases. Why is this happening? Okay, the main reason why this is happening is because we are not telling Flutter like, please change the state also. Please change the state as well. So there is one function in Flutter that is set state. Okay, the set state one, and in this set state one, I'll make this counter inside this set state one. So you can think that set state means change, change the state of the widget. So the widget state is defined by this build function. So whenever I'm increasing this, now I'm changing the state also on the screen. Okay, I know it's a bit confusing for the time being, but you can probably think that it all the changes we are doing without the set state, it won't be reflected on the screen. If we want this changes to be reflected on the screen, we have to call set state. Okay, and on the set state, now if I press this, you can see the it's increasing now. If I comment out the set state again, it won't increase now. See, I'm pressing the button again and again. Got it. So I guess most of you have got an idea like what is set state and what is C. Okay. Okay. So this is the stateless and stateful widget. Similarly, let's go through this code once. Okay. Then let's wind up this session. We went through the stateless and stateful widget. Okay. I know that like in one session, most of you can't understand each and everything. Like most of things are unclear, but don't worry about it. I'll like give a link in, like not in the description. I'll tell you like from where you can probably learn this. So like hello, control Z. So this is the initial screen that we saw. This is the stateful widget. Okay. Now this got one build function that we got in the below app also. This got one function of incremental counter and one counter. Okay, counter is set to 0. The same scaffold, the same center widget, the column, you have pushed the button, okay, the two text, and on the floating action button, on pressed, we are incrementing the counter. So on incrementing, what we are calling, we are just calling set state and counter plus plus. Counter plus plus means we are increasing the counter button. So you probably have got the idea like how it's made. Okay. Okay. The snippet for Stateless, I told you STLESS, and for stateful is STFUL, and press enter, it will automatically create a stateful widget. Okay, that's what for my side for this hands-on session, right? Okay, if anyone got any doubt, like you can again. Okay, network issue a lot. Okay, buddy, I can't help with this network issue. Okay, let's wind up to this session. You can probably watch this on YouTube again if you got any network issue. Okay, so we saw this stateless widget, we saw this stateful widget. Now the time for the surprise, the most amazing moment that everyone was waiting for. So for the surprise, I kept one caution in mind. Why Dart? Like why Flutter did not have, like many languages are available in the market. JavaScript, Java, Kotlin, like many languages are available. So why making a new language, making people understand a new language and then going for Flutter? So this is the main reason that why they chose Dart, not any other of the languages. The main reason is Fuchsia. Fuchsia OS. So Fuchsia OS is nothing but a new OS that will be released by Google like anytime soon in the near future, probably in 2 or 2 to 3 years. So why Fuchsia OS? So like Apple was in the market of like you can think all of the Apple products are synchronized, like the iPhone, the iPad, and the MacBook. Each of them are synchronized. Now the Google team also wants something to be synchronized, and they have currently Java and Kotlin, and both of these languages for Android development run on JVM. JVM is Java Virtual Machine, means they need a Java environment to run. Okay, but they don't want any Java environment to run. Like, what was the plan with the Fuchsia? The plan with the Fuchsia is that should run. Fuchsia should run on each and every screen that you see in your surrounding, like from the screen of mobile, in your car, on TV, on refrigerator screen, on your watch, like each and every screen you will find Fuchsia. Like in the near future, they're gonna like they are not focusing more on Android now. They're focusing on a new, probably a totally new OS, that is Fuchsia. Okay, so that's the reason why they chose Dart. Dart is number one, the fast language, a very fast language that directly compiles to native code. Secondly, Dart does not have a dependency of Java virtual machine. They don't want a Java environment. It runs on it got another its own engine. I told you, and it got a C++ engine. I will probably show you. See, it got a C++ engine. So like that's why they chose Dart instead of any other languages. So that's the reason. Okay, before ending up, let me tell you like all the links and all the stuff for Flutter. Firstly is this flutter.dev. Okay, I know that we missed a lot of part in Flutter. That the packages one and all the stuff. Okay, but I can't help myself. We got the time foundation. So you can contact me. Some email. You can probably contact me on LinkedIn with the same name Jayant Dhingra, on Instagram Jayant Dhingra 3. And then let me tell you the resources from where you can learn Flutter. The first one is flutter.dev. This is the main site from you can learn Flutter. It got its docs, so you can probably find each and everything in the docs. Okay, so you can go through each and everything in the docs. I learned Flutter on my own on this YouTube video, this media channels, and the main Flutter.dev. Okay, then thing is like for you, we got awesome tutorials. I recommend is like tutorial. Okay, uh, yeah, I recommend. Okay, okay, leave that. It's not working out. So I type it like it's net ninja. Okay, can I? Okay, I guess I don't cannot type it here. Net ninja flutter. Okay, So yeah, so here the Net Ninja YouTube channel. You can go here and search for Flutter tutorial. It got an awesome Flutter tutorial. I learned Flutter from here only. Okay, I guess it got tutorial uh, for okay, here it is. Flutter tutorial for beginners. You can learn this. You can probably go through each and every video for this. It got a lot of awesome stuff, so you can learn Flutter from here. I highly recommend you going from here. Okay, and after learning this, you can okay. Okay, no comment. Okay, I think everyone likes my teaching. That's why we got no comments. Like no doubts. So can we end this session? Okay. So yeah, so let's end this session. My name is Jayant Dhingra. Here is my contact details. You can contact me anywhere here. On my number, on my mail, on everything. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you guys and have a nice day.